fixed. She was on Medicaid. The faraway bureaucracy was cold and heartless, insisting that she leave the hospital before blood clots and infections were properly treated. Finally, when she got to meet us at our Zarephath Health Center, we found a physician who just fixed her leg, and the clinic simply paid him. She stood for the first time last April. Local doctors finding a local surgeon paid for by the clinic. We've written a law. We found a Democrat and a Republican in New Jersey to sponsor it, which would go a long way toward taking care of the poor without fleecing the taxpayers. We've got common sense solutions. I'd like to bring those to the U.S. Congress. In 2004, I testified before the Joint Economic Committee of the U.S. Congress on better ways to deliver health care. Then in 2011, I went back down there to testify how we could keep routine care out of the emergency rooms. I've been to Washington, D.C. I want to go as your congresswoman to serve all the people of the 12th District. I'm not a career politician. I know how government works. I've lived in the private sector. I feel the brunt of every tax increase. Our people don't mind paying taxes when the money is well spent. But accountability is best when the spending is kept close to home. When the federal government takes money out of the taxpayers of New Jersey and then wastes it in not doing what's in the best interest of the people, I have a big problem with that. It's time for the 12th District to elect a woman who has solved problems using her own time and money. It's time to revive the concept of the public servant and elect someone who will govern well, always have the highest respect for the people and the taxpayers who have to foot the bills. I've looked into the eyes of countless people who are feeling the pain of a failing economy, loss of jobs, loss of health insurance, oppressive taxes. I feel compassion. Unlike many other Americans, I was outraged at the overreach of the IRS, targeting certain groups for unfavorable treatment. I was also outraged by the NSA spying on regular Americans without cause. When I watch how poorly our government has handled the Ebola crisis, I see politics guiding the decisions instead of proven science. We lack leadership in D.C. I'd like to add the problem-solving woman's perspective to the lawmakers in D.C. I not only want to get things done, I want our government to stop doing things that should be left to the people. I want to stop the wasteful government program spending and see laws passed that are 20 pages long, not 600 pages long, laws that no one has read. I hope you vote for me when you go to the voting booth. Forget the idea, Democrat, Republican. Forget the name of the party. Choose the most qualified candidate, one that you'll be proud to represent you in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.
Good morning. First, I'd like to thank the retirees for holding this forum. I am a retiree. I don't look like one, but I am one. You can't tell what I am by looking at me. The reason I'm a retiree is because I spent the first 25 years of my life defending this country, willing to die for this country. If the Lord blesses me to see another 25 years, I'll spend that living for this country. What makes me different from the candidates you see before you is I believe in a simple philosophy. It's teach, protect, and save. The problems that we have exist because people have been taught the wrong things. Those people who are charged to represent us have not done that job well. But they insist that we adhere to the same principles that establish their authority. They want you to vote Democrat or Republican. They want you to send a person from the Assembly to the national level. That process is how we got to where we are. My opponent, Bonnie Watson Coleman, she sits as the vice chair of the Majority Committee of Education. They have the majority. That means that they can make any education policy for the state of New Jersey as they please. She's the vice chair. Now, when it goes down to education policy, there's something going on that maybe many of you don't know about. It's called the Urban Hope Act. It's an act which allows, it's a law now, which allows public school funds to be skimmed off the top by charter schools. Public school is already underfunded, already grossly underfunded. But that money is being compromised by charter schools who have submit their budgets, and 97% of their budget needs comes right out of the public school money, right off the top. before our kids get anything. This Urban Hope Act was authored by Donald Norcross. I have testified in the Assembly Committee on Education about how this act is hurting urban cities. Why is this necessary? Why does it affect us? It affects us because whatever succeeds in urban environment impacts us in a suburban environment. As Deputy Mayor of Hopewell Township, I want to make sure that the suburbs and the money that we spend to get our education and make sure our kids learn the right things is impacted and spent the right way. We can't do that when the state is taking over urban environments and using our tax dollars in those urban environments and allowing the money to be skimmed right off the top. When it came to the impact of that act, there was a lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed, and the act was changed in New Jersey legislation. They voted to change the law to get around the lawsuit. Now, this is not the kind of conduct that I condone. When I testified in front of their committee, I asked for an audit of all New Jersey education money. No one did anything. Nothing has been done. That's the teach part. The teach part is everybody sharing the information that they have, no matter what age you are. Our teachers are those who are chosen in that profession. I believe teaching is a calling. You have to be a special person to be a teacher. That's what makes us all teachers. The second philosophy is protect. You protect that which you teach. This system protects itself. It protects what it teaches us to do. It wants us to be a two-party system. It wants us to send people from our assembly to the national level. That's what it wants us to do, and that's what it protects. Most people don't know that any of these candidates, they don't have to ask you for a dime because your tax money funds their candidacy already. They get money, state money, given to them that come out of our taxes. And then they come around on the back end and they ask you for more money. And then they play off each other. They just raised this amount of money. They just raised this amount of money. You got to give more. Where's your 5? Where's your 10? Where's your 20? Save. Okay. Save is what you do when those things that you teach fail to protect those that you love. You have to save them. You voting saves us from the failure of the government the way it's established and their policies that they push. Thank you.
5-minute statement.
Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen J. Usio, and I'm the Libertarian Party's candidate for Mercer County Freeholder. I'm running because I believe something is wrong here in New Jersey. I believe there's something fundamentally wrong. We all feel it, and the numbers simply do not lie. We're number 1, highest property taxes. Number 2, least friendly for businesses. Number 5, highest cost of living. Number 6, highest state income taxes, and we have the most expensive roads in the country. Our roads cost more than 10 times the national average, and our current state lawmakers are telling us that it's not enough. As a result of all these problems, we're number 1 in one more thing. We're number 1 in people leaving. People are fleeing this state faster than any other state. They're not voting in the ballots, they're voting with their feet. And that's why I'm running. I believe the people that we have in place now are not going to solve these problems. As a libertarian candidate, as a libertarian, I believe in a simple guiding principle, a simple guiding philosophy, that you, the individual person, should have maximum control over your money, your life, and you should be able to do whatever you want to do as long as it doesn't hurt someone else. So when I take that philosophy and apply it to Mercer County Freeholder, I believe the government has an obligation to take as little money from you as possible because they are taking it. They're not asking for it. And there's 3 policies I want to touch on very quickly. I could go on for a while. Number 1, I think we should stop the Trenton-Mercer Airport. The county owns the Trenton-Mercer Airport, And the problem is when the government owns businesses, they have no incentive to do a good job because they simply cannot go bankrupt. At this time, the Trenton Mercer Airport is losing $1.8 million a year. I think the airport should be sold off to a private business and let that company worry about the profits and the losses, not us, not the taxpayer. That should not be our responsibility. Number two, in addition to the Mercer County Airport, I think the county should be identifying and selling off land that is unnecessary. Currently, Mercer County owns 16 square miles of land. We should sell off some of the land that we have and apply the proceeds to our monumental and alarming $358 million of debt. You should be concerned about that amount. And number three, I think we should drastically cut the budget. According to County Executive Mr. Brian Hughes, 70% of the budget is fixed. That's the term he used, implying that 30% is discretionary. I think we should strive to cut as much of that 30% as possible. Now, some of you here might have gotten money for heating assistance or free air conditioners during the summer, but that money is not free. It's taken from you, spun around in bureaucracy, and you get some of it back. In addition, you're also paying for child care assistance for one family and first-time homeowner buying assistance for another. That costs up to $7,000 a family. You have to understand our high property taxes affect everything. If you have a mortgage, you are of course paying property taxes. But if you rent an apartment, you're also paying property taxes. Your landlord is simply not going to pay that. He's going to make you pay it for him. When you go to the grocery store, when you go to the gas station, our high property taxes are rolled into almost every single thing that we do and everything that we buy. That is why it is so important to strive to reduce our property taxes, to make the whole county more affordable for everyone, and at that point, you wouldn't need a lot of these programs. So I'd like to thank you for listening to me, and everyone have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Ucio. Mr. Camino?
Yes, Barry, thank you, and thank you, Ron, for inviting me to this forum here this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. During my first campaign in early 2008, I, like the rest of you, had no idea of the looming worldwide financial crisis that would send our nation into a deep recession. I would quickly understand how that fallout of the crisis would affect each and every one of us, challenging our ability to provide services while keeping our taxes in check. Over the past 5 years, our county has lost over $6 billion in our tax base, which is a 13% reduction. We at the county have made the tough choices to keep our county finances healthy. Declining county clerk revenue due to our housing slowdown, our ever-increasing healthcare costs, reductions in state grants and aid and resources have hurt. But we have implemented spending reductions which required tough decisions. Those include a reduction in the countywide workforce, the reduction in the county open space tax, the closing of our youth detention center and entering into a shared service agreement with Middlesex County, the selling of the Mercer County Geriatric Center, which resulted in a $13 million positive economic impact on our county's finances. These difficult decisions have made for a strong and vibrant Mercer County, not only for today, but well into the future. Amazon recently opened its mega warehouse, providing hundreds of jobs with the potential to add more. Over the past few months, our county has taken center stage nationally and internationally. The 2014 National Special Olympic Games held here in Mercer County, and recently the Ironman Triathlon. Thousands of athletes and their families and visitors contributing tens of millions of dollars to our local economy. These organizations chose Mercer County because of our airport, because of our nationally recognized county parks, and the host municipalities as the best place in the country to hold these events. Businesses are expanding here in Mercer County. NRG here in West Windsor, Bristol-Myers Squibb, the Princeton Market Fair, and yes, Frontier Airlines, to name a few. According to the New Jersey Department of Transportation, Trenton Mercer Airport, prior to Frontier coming in, was an economic engine for this region, generating nearly $217 million in economic impact to our regional economy and providing $1.5 million in property taxes. That impact will only continue to grow because Frontier has recognized the value of being located here in Mercer County. The investments that the county has made in Trenton Mercer Airport were smart and prudent for the continued success of our facility that has a tremendous economic impact on our region. The investments being made by our higher education institutions, including Princeton University's Arts and Cultural Center, the College of New Jersey's Campus Town, Thomas Edison State College's Nursing Education Center, are evidence of a strong and vibrant Capital County. Together, the economic growth of our businesses and the strength of the workforce delivered by these educational institutions are the reason Mercer County maintains a lower unemployment rate of many of our surrounding counties, state, and nation. We have worked hard to keep our fiscal house in order, evidenced by S&P's continued approval of S&P AA+ rating, while other counties, and specifically the state, have witnessed several downgrades. My vision for Mercer County is simple. Continue to strategically fund open space acquisitions, such as the recent purchase of the Princeton Research Lands parcel, while maintaining a proper stewardship of these lands. Pursue energy efficiency projects at our county facilities that will reduce our carbon footprint and ultimately reduce the cost to run these facilities. Advocate for the appropriate support from the state in returning the energy tax receipts to municipalities and ensuring that the hotel occupancy taxes that are collected in Mercer County come back to Mercer County to support and increase our tourism industry. Support our Mercer County schools, Mercer County Community College, Mercer County Vocational and Technical Schools, and the recently opened and highly successful Health Science Academy. Mercer County has been a leader in shared